I wanna stand up, I wanna let go. And no, you don't. I wanna shout out in the hearts of men. I wanna be there from the back of my road. Another headache, another heartbreak. It's so much older than I can take. And my affection, well, it comes and goes. I need correction to perfection. No, help me out. Yeah, you gotta help me out. Yeah, oh, don't you put me on the back burner. You gotta help me out. Yeah. And when there's nowhere else to run, is there room for one more song? It's changing me, the cold-hearted boy I used to be. Yeah, you gotta help me out. Yeah, oh, don't you put me on the back burner. You gotta help me out. Yeah, you're gonna bring yourself down. Yeah, you're gonna bring yourself down. Yeah, you're gonna bring yourself down.
Should we tell what we got? Two. What do we got? 2, 4, 1.
I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. 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 I got soul, but I'm not a soldier.
1, 2, 3.
Dis-moi pourquoi tes parties rayonnent. Dis-moi pourquoi tu t'entends la nuit. Je veux comme ça. Dis-moi pourquoi. Dis-moi pourquoi. Dis-moi pourquoi. Dis-moi pourquoi.
alive, I thank you for the things you did in my life. If I ever leave this world alive, I'll come back down and sit beside your feet tonight.
He means it! He will!
I'll always be more than just a memory. If I ever leave this world alive.
That was okay, let me one up here! Never leave this world alive.
should be alright. She said, I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm alright.
I'm alright.
You have gone from my life.
From my
Said it
life.
would and probably should be alright.
Entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds that the fixed sentinels almost perceive the secret whispers of each other's watch. Fire answers fire, and through their paly flames, each battle sees the other's umbered face. Steed threatens steed in high and boastful neighs, piercing the night's dull ear. And from the tents, the armorers accomplishing the nights with busy hammers closing rivets up, give dreadful note of preparation. The country cocks do crow, the clocks do toll, and the third hour of drowsy morning named, proud in their numbers and secure in soul. Confident and over-lusty French do the low-rated English play at dice and chide the crippled, tardy-gated knight, who like a foul and ugly witch doth limp so tediously away. The poor, condemned English, like sacrifices, by their watchful fires sit patiently and inly ruminate the morning's danger, and their gesture sad, investing lank lean cheeks and war-worn coats, presenteth them unto the gazing moon so many horrid ghosts. Whoa! Now, who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band, walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent? Let him cry, praise and glory on his head, for forth he goes and visits all his host, bids them good morrow with a modest smile, and calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen. Upon his royal face there is no note how dread an army hath enrounded him, nor doth he dedicate one jot of color unto the weary and all-watching night, but freshly looks, and overbears a taint with cheerful semblance and sweet majesty, that every wretch, pining and pale before beholding him, plucks comfort from his looks. The largest universal like the sun, his liberal eye doth give to every one, thawing cold fear that mean and gentles all behold. As may unworthiness define a little touch of Harry in the night. And so our scene must to the battle fly, where well, for pity we shall much disgrace with 4 or 5 most vile and ragged foils, right ill-disposed in brawl ridiculous the name of Agincourt. Yet, sit and see, minding true things by what their mockeries be.
Tomorrow, common servant. Good soft pillow for that good white head were better than a churlish turf of France.
Not so, my lord. This lodging like me better, since I may say, now I lie like a king.
'Tis good for men to love their present pains upon example, so the spirit is eased. And when the mind is quickened out of doubt, the organs, though defunct and dead before, break up their drowsy grave and newly moved with casted slough and fresh legerity. Let me like close it, Thomas?
Do I attend your grace?
No, my good knight. Go with my brothers to my lords of England. I in my bosom must debate a while, and then I would no other company.
The Lord in heaven bless thee, noble Harry!
God of mercy, old heart, thou speakest cheerfully.
A friend! Discuss unto me, art thou officer, or art thou base, common, and popular?
I am a gentleman of a company.
Trailst thou the poisoned pike?
Even so, what are you?
As good a gentleman as the emperor?
Then you are better than the king.
The king's a ballcock and a heart of gold. a lad of life and imp of fame, of parents good and fist most valiant. I kiss his dirty shoe, and from the heartstring I love the lovely Molly. What is thy name?
Harry. Leroy.
Leroy! A Cornish name, art thou of Cornish crew?
No, I am a Welshman.
Knowst thou Llewellyn?
Yes.
Tell him that I'll knock his leek upon his pate upon St. Davy's Day.
Do not you wear your dagger about your cap that day, lest you knock that about yours.
Art thou his friend?
And his kinsman too.
Then the go for thee then!
I thank you.
My name is Pistol Called!
So it's well with your fierceness. Captain Llewellyn! Captain Llewellyn!
So, in the name of Joshua Christ, speak few.
Why? The enemy is loud. You hear him all the night.
Enemy being us and the fool and the painting coxcomb. It is meet, look you, that we should also be an us and the fool and the painting coxcomb in your conscience now.
I will speak lower.
I pray you and beseech that you will.
Without a fashion, there is much care and valor in this Welshman.
Brother John Bates. Is not that the morning which breaks yonder?
I think it be. We have no great cause to desire the approaching day.
You see yonder the beginning of the day, but I do not think we shall see the end of it. Who goes there?
I'm Fred.
And what captain serve you? Under Sir Tommy Serping. Good old commander and a most kind gentleman. I pray you, what thinks he of our state?
Even as men wrecked upon a sand, that should be washed off the next tide.
Have you told us that to the king?
No. No, it is not meet he should. But though I speak it to you, I think the king is but a man as I am. The violet smells to him as it doth to me. The element shows to him as it doth to me. All his senses have but human conditions. His ceremonies laid by, in his nakedness he appears but a man. And though his affections are higher mounted than ours are, when they stoop with the like wind. Therefore, when he sees reason or fears his fears, out of doubt, be of the same relish as ours are. Yet, in reason, no man should possess him with any appearance of fear, lest he, by showing it, should depart from his honor.
He may show what outward courage he will, but I believe, as cold a night as 'tis, that he would wish himself encamped up to the neck. Hey, and I would he were, and I by him, at all adventures, so we were quick here.
By my troth, I will speak my conscience. I think he would not wish himself anywhere but where he is.
Then I would he were here alone, so he were sure to be ransomed, and many a poor man's life saved.
I dare say thou love him not so ill to wish him here alone. Howsoever you speak this to feel other men's hearts. He thinks I could not die anywhere so contented as in the king's company, his cause being just in his quarrel honor.
That's more than we know.
And more than we should speak after, for we know we are the king's subjects. If his cause be wrong, our obedience to the king wipes the crime of it out of us.
What if the cause be not good? The king himself hath a heavy reckoning to make. With all those arms, legs, heads, chopped off in a field of battle, shall join together at the latter day, and cry all, we died at such a place. Some swearing, some crying for their surgeon, some upon their wives left poor behind them, some upon the debts they owe, some upon their children rawly left. I am afeard there are few die well that die in a battle. For how can they charitably dispose of anything when blood is their argument? Now if these men do not die well, it will be a black matter for the king that led them to it, to disobey against all subjection.
Then if they die unprovided, no more is the king guilty of their damnation than he was before guilty of those impieties for the which they are now visited. Every subject's duty is the king's, but every subject's soul is his own. And therefore, let every soldier in the wars do as every sick man in his bed, wash every mote out of his conscience. And dying so, death is to him advantage, or not dying, the time less than lost, wherein such preparation was made.
I do not desire he should die for me, and yet I determine to fight lustily for him.
It is certain every man that dies here will deal upon his own head. The king is not to answer for him.
I myself heard the king say he would not be so ransomed.
Aye, he said so to make us fight cheerfully. But when our throats are cut, we may be ransomed, ne'er the wiser.
I ever live to see it. I'll never trust his word.
You pay him then. That's a perilous shot out of an elder gun that a poor and a private displeasure can do against a monarch. You may as well go about to turn the sun to ice with fanning in his face with a peacock's feather. Oh, you'll never trust his word out. 'Tis a silly saying.
Your reproof is something too round. I should be angry with you if the time were convenient.
Let it be a quarrel between us.
No!
If you live,
I embrace it.
how will I know thee?
Give me any gauge of thine, and I shall wear it in my belt. Then if thou darest acknowledge it, I'll make my quarrel.
With my love, give me none of thine.
There.
This will I also wear in my hand. If ever thou comest to me after tomorrow and says to me, this is my glove, I will take thee a box on the ear.
If ever I live to see it, I will challenge.
Thou darest as well be hanged.
Well, I will do it, though I take thee in the king's company.
Keep thy word, sirrah. Farewell.
Upon the king. Let us our lives, our souls, our debts, our careful wives, our children, and our sins lay on the king. We must bear all. O hard condition, twin-born with greatness, subject to the breath of every fool whose care no more can suit but his own wringing. What infinite heart's ease must kings neglect that private men enjoy? And what have kings that privates have not to, save ceremony, save general ceremony? And what art thou? Thou idle ceremony? What kind of God art thou that sufferest more of mortal griefs than do thy worshippers? What are thy rents? What are thy comings in? O ceremony, show me but thy worth! Canst thou, when thou commandst the beggar's knee, command the health of it? No. Thou proud dream that blazed so subtly with the king's repose. I am a king, define thee. And I know it is not the ball, the scepter, and the ball, the sword, the mace, the crown imperial, the intertissued robe of gold and pearl, the varsity title running for the king, and the throne he sits on, nor the tide of pomp that beats upon the high shore of this world. No, not all these thrice gorgeous ceremony, not all these laid in bed majestical can sleep so soundly as the wretched slave, who with a body filled and vacant mind gets into rest, crammed with distressful bread. Never sees or at night the child of hell, but like a lackey from the rise to the set, sweats all day in the eye of Venus, and all night sleeps in Elysium. Next day, after dawn doth rise, and help Hyperion to his high horse, follow so the ever-running year with profitable labor to his grave. That such a wretch, winding up days with toil and nights with sleep, had the forehand and vantage of a king. The slave, a member of the country's peace, enjoys it, but his gross brain little wots what watch the king keeps to maintain the peace, whose hours the peasant best advantages.
My lord! My lord! Your nobles, jealous of your absence, seek through your camp to find you.
Good old knight. Collect them all together before my tent. I'll bear before them.
I shall do, my lord.
O God of battles, steel my soldiers' hearts. Take from them the sense of fear. Give them not the sense of reckoning if the opposed numbers pluck their hearts from them. Not today. O Lord, oh, not today. Think not upon the fault my maid encompassing the ground.
Where
myself was rode to view the battle.
Of fighting men, they have both scored 3,000.
There's 5 to 1. Besides, they're all fresh.
Oh, but we now had here but 1/10,000 of those men in England that do no work today.
What's he that wishes so? Cousin Westmoreland. No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live the fewer meant the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cause. It earns me not if men my garments wear. Such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offended soul alive. No, faith, my cousin, wish not a man for thee. God's peace, I will not lose so great an honor as one man more methinks could share from me, for the best hope I have. Oh, do not wish one more! Rather, proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. We would not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispin. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe at the name of the day, and rouse him at the name of Crispin. He that shall see the day and live old age will yearly on the vigil say, tomorrow is St. Crispin's. Then will he shed his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. All men forget, yet all shall be forgotten. But he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Westmoreland, Exeter, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. And Crispin shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Be he ne'er so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England, now abed, shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whilst any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's day.
My sovereign lord, bestow yourself with speed. The French are bravely in their battle set, and will with all expedients charge on us.
All things are ready if our minds are so.
Perish the man whose mind is backward now!
Thou dost not wish more help from England, cuz?
God's will, my liege, could you and I alone fight this royal battle?
Once more I come to know of thee, King Harry. Before thy ransom thou wilt now compound, before thy most assured overthrow. For certainly thou art so near the gulf thy needs must be glutted. Besides, in mercy, the constable desires thee thou wilt mind thy followers of repentance may make a peace and sweet and peaceful retire from off these fields where wretches their poor bodies must lie and fester.
I pray thee bear my former answer back. Bid them achieve me and then sell my bones. Good God, why should they mock poor fellows thus? The man that once did sell the lion's skin while the beast lived was killed with hunting him. Many of our bodies shall no doubt find native graves, upon the which I trust shall witness live in brass of this day's work. And those that leave their valiant bones in France, dying like men though buried in your dunghills, they shall be honored. Then shall they be pulled by their honors reeking up to heaven, leaving their earthly parts to choke your clime, the smell whereof shall breed a plague in France. Mark then abounding valor in our English, that being dead, like to the bullets crazy, break out in a second course of mischief, killing in relapse of mortality. Save thou thy labor, herald. Come thou no more for ransom, gentle herald. They shall have none, but these, my joints, which if they have as I will leave them, shall yield them little. Tell the constable.
I shall deliver so. Thou shalt never hear herald once more.
I fear thou wilt once more come again for ransom.
My sovereign lord, most humbly on my knee I beg the leading of the voward.
Take it, great cuz. Now, soldiers, march away! and how thou pleasest God dispose the dead.
Je pense que vous êtes les gentilshommes de bonne qualité.
Qualité! Galino Castorme! Art thou a gentleman? What is thy name, discuss?
Oh, Seigneur Dieu!
A senior do should be a gentleman. Repent my words, O senior do and mark. O senior do, thou diest on point of fox, unless, O senior, thou do give to me egregious ransom.
Ayez pitié de moi.
Well, a moy shall not serve. I shall have 40 moys. Or I shall fetch thy rim out at thy throat and drops the crimson blood.
Est-il impossible d'échapper la force de ton bras?
Brasker, thou damned and luxurious mountain goat. Offers me brass.
Pardonnez-moi.
Say, hey, is that a ton of moys? Boy, come hither. Bid him prepare, for I will cut his throat.
Que dit-il, monsieur?
You command à vous dire, vous êtes tout prêt à passer soldats ici et disposer à cette heure de couper votre gorge.
Eh oui! Coupez le gars! Perma! Peasant! Unless thou give me crowns, brave crowns, or mangled shalt thou be by this my sword.
Je vous supplie pour l'amour de Dieu me pardonner. Je suis le gentilhomme de bonne maison. Gardez ma vie. Je vous donne 200 écus.
What are his words?
He's ready to save his life. He's a gentleman of a good house, and for his ransom he'll give you 200 crowns.
Tell him that my fury shall abate and I the crowns will take.
Sauf mes genoux, je vous donne 1000 remerciements. Et je décide que j'ai entre les mains, comme je pense, le plus brave, gagnant et près des seigneurs d'Angleterre.
As I suck blood, I will some mercy show.